What's shakin' bacon? You probably noticed that I'm not in our usual set today, and that's because we're currently staying with family out of state. I am super grateful that I'm able to film while we're here. So, what are we doing today? If you watched the chuck roll breakdown video, you'll remember me talking about chuck eye steaks and calling them the little sibling of a boneless ribeye. They also bear the nickname of a poor man's ribeye, which, between inflation and the rising popularity of this cut, the poor man's part may not be super fitting anymore. Anyway, I digress. Today we'll be testing the accuracy of the nickname with a side-by-side comparison. A chuck eye versus a boneless ribeye. We'll prepare both steaks identically and then blind taste test them to see what differences we notice and whether we prefer one over the other. Before we get to cooking and eating, I first want to ponder why these two steaks get compared in the first place. Ribeyes are touted as a premium steak, while chuck eyes, until more recently, have gone largely unnoticed, unknown, or simply unavailable at a lot of stores. Also, the price difference between the two can be large. I've seen chuck eyes priced at $9.99 a pound on the same shelf as ribeyes priced at $18.99 a pound. Also, they come from two different subprimals. Ribeyes come from the beef rib, which is located in the middle of the cow, and chuck eyes come from the chuck roll, which is in the shoulder. Chuck eyes are usually smaller, but you can't deny that they're shaped an awful lot like ribeyes. Even the intermuscular fat pattern is super similar. So is it just the way they look? Well, kind of, but it more has to do with the fact that chuck eyes are specifically cut from the portion of the chuck roll that is connected to the beef rib. They're next door neighbors. And I'm talking townhomes, not single family homes. If you watched our strip loin breakdown video, this is the same concept as the double muscle end of the strip being where the sirloin starts. These muscles don't just end, they flow together. I think that was a sufficient ponder. Let's go get our steaks trimmed up and ready to cook. I want our steaks to be as close to the same thickness as possible. Now, I thought that I cut this chuck eye kind of wonky, but now that I think about it, this one actually came from the very end of the chuck roll, so I'm going to trim a little bit off the sides to even it out as best as I can. Moving on to our ribeye, that one, still has the bone attached, so let's get that off, and two, is a very thick boy compared to our chuck eye, so we're going to be slicing him into two steaks. We'll use one for this experiment and put the other one back in the fridge for later. Lovely. That's as close to each other as we're gonna get, so let's move on to seasoning these bad boys. We'll be reverse searing the steaks, so this is a good time to preheat the oven to 225 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to season both steaks with our go-to combo of salt and pepper on both sides and garlic powder on one side. This might look familiar because we're doing exactly the same thing to these steaks as we did to the ones in our picanha steaks video. I love how I went through lining them up and like second guessing myself to try to get them even, and they look so uneven. Let's disregard that. Pop these into the oven and bake them until they reach an internal temperature of around 100 to 110 degrees. I usually start temping them after the first like 10 to 15 minutes because I'm super paranoid about overcooking them, but usually this part of the process takes about 20 to 25 minutes for me on average. We're essentially shooting for an internal temperature 10 to 20 degrees below your desired doneness, and this is to account for the fact that we still need to sear the steaks after they come out of the oven, as well as for any carryover cooking that might happen. I like to shoot for medium rare to medium, which is right around 135 to 145 final temperature. Don't judge me, my father-in-law is an Eagles fan. Now we can sear the steaks in a hot cast iron. I'm actually going to take the fat that I cut off the steaks earlier and put them in the pan to render down so I can sear the steaks in some beef tallow. Are you ready to blind taste test?
I am.
Ribeyes are my favorite steak.
Yeah, same.
I also love chuck eyes, but I've never put them up against each other side by side, so I'm really excited to see if there's actually like a big difference between the two. Do you want to taste test first, or do you want me to?
I don't know. What do you want to do?
I'll taste test first.
Okay. It's between New York strip and ribeye for me.
As your favorite?
My favorite, yeah. It depends on what I'm in the mood for. If I'm in the mood for something fattier, I want to go for a ribeye. If I'm in the mood for something a little bit more lean, but still want like delicious beef, it's going to be New York strip.
I am ready.
Ready. Okay. Let's see which one. How is it?
Delicious. I'm so glad I didn't overcook them. I'm always so nervous.
All right, ready for the second one?
Mm-hmm.
Right off bat, any differences between the first and the second?
They really taste the same.
Taste the same?
Yes.
Here, we'll do another one of the one, then we'll do another one of the two as well. I think those pieces were really close to each other with the amount of fat they had on them. Tell me about them. What's the eating experience like?
They taste, I would say about 95% the same. The second one felt it gave a little schmidgy smodgy, more like umptiousness, maybe a little bit more fattiness throughout. Is it raining?
Yeah, I just started raining out of nowhere.
I'm so sorry for how that sounds. The second one, I think, kind of seemed like it had a little bit more intramuscular fat.
Okay.
Like the marbling is what I'm saying.
Okay.
So I'm gonna guess that the first one was the chuck eye and the second one was the ribeye. But to be completely honest, if I wasn't super hard paying attention like I am now, trying to get this guess right, I wouldn't be able to tell them apart. Like actually.
Copy.
That's pretty cool. I mean, they had very, very similar textures. The first one, like I said, minutely less marbling. Like I said, like 5% less juicy, less umptious, aka like could be classified as like 5% drier, but that gives bad vibes. It wasn't dry. So yeah, I'm gonna go with that being the guess, as the first one being chuck eye and the second one being ribeye.
Copy.
But they really do taste the same. They taste the same. The mouth feels the same. Yeah. Are there any other questions that we wanted to ask?
I guess which one do you like more?
Oh, which one do I like more?
Yeah, which one do you like more? So if your guess is first one is chuck eye, second one is ribeye, which one do you like more?
I feel like my answer is kind of a cop-out, but I feel like it's also a perfect answer on whether the comparison actually holds a lot of weight. Because I honestly would take either of them. Okay. I could switch one out for the other and that would be fine with me. So okay. I feel like that is like the ultimate answer to the comparison question.
Okay. All right. Do you want to know the answer?
Here, let me take this off first. You really could interchange those for me.
The first one was the ribeye.
It was?
Yeah, the first one was the ribeye. The second one was the chuck eye.
I really thought I was going to get that right. That's
crazy.
Wild.
I also thought she was going to get it right. I would have said the one with the more fat on the inside was the chuck eye. So that's why I thought you were going to get it right. And then when you said one is the chuck eye, two is the ribeye, I was like, huh?
Yeah, that would be right. It would make more sense for the chuck eye to have more intramuscular fat because it's from the chuck.
At least one of us will get it right.
I'm giving you the answers. But the reason that I guessed what I did is because the chuck eye was more umptious is like the only way that I can describe it. And I associate that mouthfeel with a premium cut of beef. And ribeyes are seen as a premium cut of beef.
I mean, probably the most premium cut of beef. It's between tenderloin and that, too.
Yeah, tenderloin and that. So, like, that's kind of crazy to me that was, like, the only distinctive factor for me. Otherwise, they could be interchangeable for me. Crazy. Your turn?
My turn. Let's see if I can get the 50-50. Feels so good.
Isn't it?
All right, I already got the answer. If I'm wrong, it's going to be so funny. Because I'm off bat, I feel like I know what that one is.
Trying to find you like one that looks the same.
Yeah. You should trick me up and give me two of the same.
Oh, that would be kind of jacked.
First one's chuck eye, second one's ribeye. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Give me your thoughts. Give me. What do you think? What are the differences, if any, that you detect?
Can I have another one of each?
Mm-hmm. Do you agree with me that they're like 95% the same?
I would do less than 95%. Mix it up again. Okay. Gosh, oh wow, that ribeye one, like butter. Holy moly, wow. Okay. If I was wrong, after being so confident, so good.
Isn't it?
All right, next one, please.
Okay.
First one's chuck eye, second one's ribeye?
No.
Really? You switched?
I switched them. So now, do you think...
It could have been the same steak flipped. The first bite I had, or the first piece I had, which was the chuck eye, yeah. Just felt a tiny bit more tough. Really? Felt like it had one of those...
I know what you're talking about.
The chewy... That goes around the circle of meat in the middle of the chuck eye.
Yeah, I think
so I feel like I had a little bit of that, so I almost immediately knew it was chuck eye because it had that on it.
Ribeyes had that too. I would have to cut it from that specific same part though.
But the first bite on the second time around was chewier than the second bite. So they basically are the same steak depending on where you're grabbing the meat from in the steak, to
Straight
be
up.
honest. They're both delicious. Holy moly.
But essentially, yeah, the same steak.
Yeah, literally basically the same steak. To be honest, I think that, oh my gosh, it's bright.
Yeah, discombobulating, yeah.
Yeah, that is a little crazy.
That's wild. They're literally touted as like 1-for-1 trades for each other, but I didn't expect them to taste like we're just eating one steak.
I don't know why you would ever pay double the price. Honestly, now, you always get ribeye.
Yeah.
Or a big piece and then cut it up.
Because ribeyes are more like readily available. And we always get a Christmas beef rib because they go on such good sale. The Christmas sale on beef ribs is the best.
$5.99 a pound.
It's the best sale of the year. And chuck sales are never that good. When I first started and I learned what a chuck eye was, off sale they were $7.99. And now I still can see them for like $9.99, but like usually more like $10, $11.99 now.
What's a good sale that a chuck eye will go on sale for?
Now, honestly, probably like $9.99 at most places.
Dang.
Off sale, it's like half the price on
Yeah.
average, depending on where you shop.
I think honestly, I think going with chuck eye makes the most sense. Other than when it's the like Easter or Christmas, like $5.99 or $6.99 for a rib roast, because that's a great deal. And then you get the ribs roast, you get steaks. That's delicious. Like that is the best by far.
Yeah.
But if you can't get that, I don't know why you would spend double the price versus just getting chuck eye if you get chuck eye.
Yeah. The only problem is like chuck eyes can be really difficult to come by. Just generally they can be. Because you can only get, it's like this much of the chuck roll can be cut into chuck eyes. And what sucked is there were a select few customers that would come into the store that were always looking for chuck eyes when we didn't have them. Because if a chuck wasn't on sale, we weren't cutting as many of them. So we didn't have that many chuck eyes on the shelf. So they would sell faster. I shit you not. Every time chuck went on sale, those people would never come in. And then we would have a surplus of chuck eyes and no one would buy them. And it made me upset. If you can get a chuck eye and
definitely
just go that route.
Yeah, interesting.
I don't know why I'm genuinely flabbergasted.
I thought I would just like the ribeye more, to be honest.
I thought that as well. Like doing a side-by-side comparison, I thought I would just prefer the ribeye off bat. But like,
It was the same
it's
damn
the
steak.
same. So I don't have a preference.
Me either. Honestly, my preference would probably be chuck eye because they're cheaper.
You got me there.
Yeah, like at half the price. If you're buying a chuck eye steak at $9.99 or $10.99 versus a ribeye at $18.99 a pound.
To like $21.99 a pound.
Especially if you go to Whole Foods. Grass fed, it's like $32.
That's true. Oh my god. Flavor-wise and eating experientially wise, without knowing which is which, without knowing the context of pricing, I don't have a preference.
Have you eaten all of this?
Between, I don't have a preference between the two. Taking the context of price out of it. This is an experiment I've wanted to do for a really long time, so this is really cool. Very happy about it.
This is good to know.
Very good information.
That's honestly crazy. I'd absolutely, at the store, if you had to pick between one, and I was just cooking for myself or us, like, I would pick chuck eye every time. Because
of the scarcity comparatively, you can get ribeyes out of an entire beef rib.
Yeah.
But you can only get chuck eyes out of like a 20% portion of a chuck eye. I can't believe chuck eyes are like on average half the price per pound. I would expect them to be more expensive. Inflation gods do not.
It's just like hanger steak. Like I was getting hanger steak at Whole Foods for
like $11.99.
I think it was less than that.
Really?
I think they increased it now to it's like $18.99 or something. So it's like just the price of everything else.
Yeah.
But it was for a little bit.
Also like gained a lot of popularity in the last couple of years. So like I think that's going to happen to chuck eyes.
I think that's what I'm saying. Just like flat irons. Same thing happened to flat irons.
Maybe it's because a lot of these butcher's cuts that tend to be lesser known and therefore usually on the lower end of pricing, a lot of them are actually like super small portions of the cow. Hanger steak, there's only one. A top blade where flat irons come from are generally only like this big. They're not very big. Yeah. But then you think comparatively, the cuts that are more like
ribeye. Same New York strip.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Thinking about the steaks that are more mainstream and more expensive, the subprimal is larger. So the amount of that steak, there's just more of it per cow. Yeah. So you would think it would be flipped.
You'd think that it would be cheaper because they're bigger pieces that are making more steaks.
Correct.
But they're more, because there's more steaks, more people know of them. And that makes the demand higher.
Correct.
Someone knows what a New York strip is. Someone might not know what a hanger steak is.
Correct.
That's why I could probably get hanger steak so cheap until everyone was buying hanger steak. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
yeah.
A wild concept.
Interesting.
Inflation gods, please stay away from my checkouts. I know you've already hit them a little bit. Please stop. Well, thank you so much for being part of the taste test and part of the experiment today.
Thank you for letting me eat all of it.
Thank you for watching today's video. Let us know down in the comments if you've ever tried a chuck eye steak and how do you think it stacks up against a ribeye. We'd love to hear your thoughts. If you liked today's video, please share it with a friend, leave us a like, and subscribe for more bartending and butchery content. And until next time. You can hear like everything that goes on outside. I'm gonna try and keep a level head and not absolutely freak out. It's fine. We're working with what we got. All right. It's a leaf blower. Oh, un momento. I gotta check the steaks. The camera is not in a position for me to get this on video. We're gonna do the blind taste testing now. And someone's gonna rev their engine.
Like a ninja. No, saying them out loud is probably cringy. You can cut that.
This is the outro. I did not practice it before. I didn't take a thumbnail. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit.
Pretty sure that the world will be just fine without another stuck-up critic whining all the time. I'm pretty sure